Let's be real, you guys don't need me to tell you about what Angry Birds is. I'm pretty sure that everyone, even right down to the supreme leader of North Korea, knows what Angry Birds is. Side note, every phone and tablet device that has been released into North Korea comes pre-installed with an Angry Birds game, whether it be the classic version, the Rio version, the space version, or even the seasons version. Yeah, let that sink in. Although I'm not here to talk about the game, I'm just here to talk about one of the members of the fandom. And that person in the fandom is none other than Super Feather Dude. Not just Super Feather Dude, however, but just the whole situation in general. It's wild. Again, I must remind everyone to not go out and harass anyone that is mentioned within this video. Also, trigger warning for things like CP, fetish art, pedophilia, homophobia, racism, and so much more. But without any further ado, let's get started. To answer the question on how Super Feather Dude got himself into this mess, we need to talk about what happened back in 2021. So, sometime in 2021 on a now deleted stream by Super Feather Dude, a user named Clone Mario the Jumpman decided to make a knock-knock joke, which got a lot of flack from not only Super Feather Dude himself, but also his whack-ass fans. And Super Feather Dude decided to harass the ever-loving holy hell out of Clone Mario, to the point where Clone Mario had to defend himself. Now, it's one thing to not like a joke at all, but to actually bully someone over that joke, that just seriously pisses me off, because are we fucking serious? It would be quite some time until the joke actually came true when Luigi Girl cheated on Mr. Jawbone with a minor named Logan. Essentially, Luigi Girl was grooming Logan. Keep in mind, she was in her 20s, and she claimed it was quote-unquote an accident. Despite the fact that she admitted to grooming a minor, almost everyone has decided to forgive her. Which makes absolutely no sense because grooming a minor should be career-ending, period. But I guess she somehow got away with it with her brain-dead fan. One of the many people who forgave her was Mr. Jawbones himself, as in the same Jawbone that got cheated on. In his infinite wisdom, he, along with Luigi Girl 12, decided to make a stream, essentially telling their audience to let go of the whole drama and to not bring it up again. Even though it wasn't drama and it was actually something very fucking serious. Not to mention that he also said the N-word, even though he's obviously white. Now, he claimed that he can say the N-word because he has a brother who is black, even though this is obviously not true. So I just think he's lying to cover his ass. Oh, and he also told someone in no uncertain terms to go kill themselves on Fortnite.
What did you just tell me?
I said, go kill yourself.
But you know who else decided to defend Luigi Girl? Super Feather Dude himself. This is what he had to say when a YouTuber named Moon Moo decided to confront both Luigi Girl and Jawbone in a stream.
Block.
It just goes to show that Super Feather Dude was on both Luigi Girl and Jawbone's side. Also, during a Gartic phone match with a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old, Luigi Girl decided to draw her OC with her feet out. No, I did not stutter. She literally drew her OC with her feet out in a Gartic phone match with a 15 and a 12-year-old. Not to mention that Jawbone allegedly taught some minors how to stroke the snake on stream. Even after all these serious allegations came out, Super Feather Dude decided to keep both of them around and still give them work. The fact that Super Feather Dude kept both of them around, especially after they both got in trouble, just speaks volumes on what kind of person Super Feather Dude really is. But that was only the first part. The second part is a lot more disgusting. Yeah, I'm not going to be dramatic about it because I'm not really surprised at this point. Super Feather Dude has a DeviantArt account, and among his favorites contains some fetish art. Although heads up, most of the evidence that I will be showing you will be censored, not only because it's disgusting, but I also don't want Super Feather Dude's wacky fans going out and false striking my videos. I wish I didn't have eyes. Oh yeah, and remember when I showed you those last couple of artworks ranging from a muscular Maple Pines to weight gain Powerpuff Girls? Well, all of those pieces were made by a sick, twisted fuck who goes by the name of the Frankster Channel. Hell, he even outright admits it in his bio. And this person has been doing it as early as 2012. The Frankster Channel is not the only one that Super Feather Dude has favorited art from, and probably followed as well. SFD is in connection with a deluge of people who specialize in the fetish, even right down to an AI channel, which in of itself is pretty ironic when you consider the fact that he made a whole short dedicated to being against AI. After he was called out for his actions, Super Feather Dude and his posse decided to go on something of an apology tour. Which, let's be honest here, it feels more like damage control. Essentially, the apology boiled down to, "Oh, I didn't know it was fetishistic, and my messed up brain wasn't even thinking straight at the time." Are you serious? Are we serious right now? You are literally in your 20s, and you were fully aware and knew damn well that these were fetish arts. At this point, I don't even want to talk about his apology anymore. It's full of fucking excuses and even yapping. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Not only did Super Feather Dude say something very racist, but he also plagiarized from a handful of people like Schneider Tunes when it comes to the SFD movie, SML when it came to the Easter special, and Cup Lane when it came to the rant about Trolls Band Together Fan 2001.
What's that on the road? Is that water? It wasn't there when I passed earlier. That's not water, it's oil!
Now, during the whole chaos, there was one person that was prominent when it came to defending Super Feather Dude. That guy being Brown Robin Bird. Not only does Brown Robin Bird have significant ties with Super Feather Dude, including being a prominent voice actor and being close best friends with them, but he is also an animator who is well known for his web series. However, his involvement with the Super Feather Dude controversy came around when Chase the Stick Boy the Critic called out Super Feather Dude and Brown Robin Bird for refusing to cut ties with Luigi Girl 12 and Mr. Jawbones. And in response, Brown Robin Bird decided to essentially deny and defend both him, Super Feather Dude, Luigi Girl, and Jawbone. Although the particular parts about himself not being a pedophile would age like milk later on. But that's a topic that I will get into later. And when GoldieZ_55 accused Brown Robin Bird of having Powerpuff Girls fetish art saved on his DeviantArt favorites, Brown Robin Bird decided to make a video not only defending Luigi Girl and Jawbone by saying that they didn't know what the word grooming meant, even though they obviously should, but he also denied having any Powerpuff Girls fetish art on his DeviantArt save, which will probably age like milk. And he even talked about Nut Dealer and what he has done on his Discord server, which was essentially telling the truth about what was going on. Although for some ungodly baffling reason, Brown Robin Bird decided to refer to Nut Dealer as Nutmaster. TLDR, Brown Robin Bird apologized for not only blocking the Nut Dealer, but also believing him at first. even though Nut Dealer was well within his right, not only because he had actual proof, but he had to tell your entire audience the truth, Brown. After a while, a user named Mr. Rovio managed to get into contact with Brown Robin Bird and successfully got him to reactivate his DeviantArt account, and holy aged milk! Brown has a lot of fetishes in his favorites like Super Feather Dude. Holy shit. What makes things 10 times worse is the fact that half of these characters are from Bluey, and most of the characters are underage. And when Mr. Rovio confronted Brown Robin Bird, not only did he use the "I was young" excuse, but also implied that he was going to erase the evidence. Thus, like super fucking degenerate. Wonder if anyone else is sensing a pattern here. After all the information came to light, Brown Robin Bird decided to release an apology, which was filled to the brim with excuses, ranging from being blinded by the art style being absolutely similar to the original show to not knowing what a fetish was until 2023. Let's just be honest, his apologies are just full of bullshit, just like Super Feather Dude's apology. They are clearly not sorry, and they don't mean it from the bottom of their heart. Sometime after the video was released, there was a huge public outcry, which ranged from people saying that the allegations were completely false and that the evidence was faked, to people who didn't even watch the video or did a single bit of research about the situation. Now, there are a handful of people who decided to cut ties with Super Feather Dude, like Andrew Goodguy. He promptly cut ties with Super Feather Dude after the truth came out. And then we also have Christopher Ruiz, who at first tried to defend Super Feather Dude, although that clearly failed. However, according to Andrew in this conversation with Mr. Rovio, Christopher Ruiz was easily manipulated by SFD's fake apology, and Ruiz only had good intentions. However, considering that Ruiz is still on Tiffany's crew, it seems likely that he was forgiven, and subsequently Ruiz decided to cut contact with SFD after he found out about what SFD really done. However, on the other side of the coin, there are a handful of people who still defended Super Feather Dude despite all the evidence being released. Like this person, who I will call Ivraj. So, Ivraj not only decided to defend Super Feather Dude, Brown Robin Bird, Luigi Girl 12, and Mr. Jawbones, but they also decided to deny the allegations and called Mr. Rovio an attention seeker and even asked for proof even though there's proof. And also to add salt to the open wound, they claimed what SFD done was a mistake, even though it obviously wasn't. Oh, and he also begged Nut Dealer 420 to not expose him. Although Nut Dealer obviously decided to expose Ivraj, and rightfully so. But I'm afraid that's not really the end of the story though. But we also have people like Blamco, who not only supported Jetta after originally cutting ties with her after she was exposed for being a PDF with multiple grooming victims, but he also decided to be an asshole to chase the sick boy the critic by pulling the "you can't tell me what to do" argument, and also started defending Luigi Girl 12. So much so, to the point where they even started a live stream together, as in Blamco, Luigi Girl, and Jawbones together. And they all not only shit talk about Chase the Stick Boy the critic, but also said that he needed to be arrested for criticizing them. Like it's fucking North Korea! And they also brought up irrelevant stuff like Chase the Stick Boy the critic bashing opinions, even though that was obviously years ago and he has matured, while Blamco, Luigi Girl 12, and Jawbones didn't. And then we also have Sonic K, who formerly sided with Luigi Girl and even talked shit and especially harassed Chase the Stick Boy the critic. Although there's a big possibility that he didn't know any better and that he was manipulated, and this is due to the fact that he was young and impressionable. My only piece of evidence to support this is several recordings of several streams where he was featured in. He clearly sounds like he's under the age of 10.
He kept reusing the total Yakutron. That was the reason. Because he kept saying, yeah, whatever. So I had to mute this guy.
Although thankfully, as of recently, Sonic K has cut ties with both Luigi Girl and Jawbones. And all I have to say is, congratulations, Caden. You finally broke away from the toxicity. May your future be as bright as a shooting star at night. But this directly leads to one last person, Winter Zane. Oh boy, this is gonna be difficult to talk about. I'll just let this testimony from NutDealer420 explain it all.
This is Winter Zane, a close friend of Anim's and someone who vehemently defends Luigi Girl. When he commented on my video calling it fake and misinformation, he got completely ratioed. However, this isn't about my video. This is about his run-in with Chase. Chase tagged Zane in one of his videos, only for Zane to start accusing him of trying to start something. Some of the stuff that Zane says to Chase in their interaction is so unironically goofy, it screams wannabe alpha male cringe. Which you honestly can't take seriously because this is the same guy who in his community post on Chase used the same screenshot twice but showed only one additional comment in the second screenshot. Yeah, that's some real alpha male IQ you got there, Zane. Okay, so in this screenshot, Chase is just telling him to watch the video. But Zane is all like, nah bro, no thanks bruh, I know who my friends are. Yeah, I really don't think you do, Zane. Now knowing that Zane still thinks that Luigi and Jawbone are innocent, Chase tells him not to trust them. Only for Zane to say, bruh, you know reigniting old drama is attention seeking, right? To which, no, Zane, that isn't attention-seeking, that's educating the public. And it's not old drama either, it's fucking grooming allegations. Something that Zane doesn't seem to understand. And is made most obvious by his reply of, TS ended over 2 years ago, bro. He does realize he's talking about Luigi Girl admitting to grooming a minor, right? Then Zane tells him, brother, you're actively trying to start something. As if Chase started the drama himself, which he didn't, by the way. He was just spreading awareness. If anybody started anything, it was Luigi Girl saying that she accidentally groomed a fucking minor. But seriously though, what the fuck does she mean by accidentally? You can't accidentally groom a minor. And as a testament to his IQ, he also adds that it's not defending if I had nothing to do with it. Which, Zane, if you're watching, I'm not sure if you know this, but you can still defend someone without being involved in their drama. Like, you still made a video defending Luigi Girl, even if you said that you can't because you don't have anything to do with it. Like seriously, where is the logic, Zane? Anyways, Chase then tells him that if he doesn't watch the videos, then he'll be sorry. Obviously referring to how if people find out he's still friends with Luigi Girl, they're going to criticize him and call him out, just like how I'm doing right now. Zane, I wouldn't be exposing you right now if you had listened to Chase. You've already embarrassed yourself in my comments section, and now thousands of people are going to know that you're friends with a child groomer. I hope you're happy with your decisions, Zane. Zane clearly doesn't understand what Chase is trying to say, and asks him, is that threat, city boy? I'm sorry, city boy? City boy? And I assume you live on a farm, Zane? Zane then tells him that he can't threaten people online, even though that's not what he was doing, and then he says, I got nothing to do with their drama. Well, now you do, Zane, because I'm talking about you in my video. Anyways, Chase has to spell it out for him and tell him that he's going to get criticized by Luigi Girl's critics and haters. But Zane still isn't listening, saying that it was 2 years ago that Chase is trying to reignite old drama even though it's not even drama, it's grooming allegations. And also calling Chase a Timmy Tough Knuckles? I have genuinely never heard the term Timmy Tough Knuckles before in my entire life. Just say he was trying to act tough, Zane. Stop using these weird-ass goofy terms. Zane then brings up a certain video that Chase uploaded when he was 14, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Zane also posted this meme he made in an attempt to make fun of and, knowing him, intimidate Chase. But it's honestly more confusing if anything. Is it implying that he got that stick of marijuana from that box of cigarettes? He does realize that the Marlboro company doesn't make weed products, right? And why is he holding a box of cigarettes if he's already smoking weed? Does Zane think they're the same thing? Also, why did he give Chase the red MLG eyes? What exactly about this image is supposed to make us think that Chase is a loser who's trying to act tough? I also want to point your attention to the sole comment on this community post. Don't forget he got enslaved by snakes who he freed from their prison. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but it was probably something anti-Semitic. But anyways, Zane would eventually make a video on Chase called talking about the wannabe Timmy Tough Knuckles, which, dare I say, is the worst video on the Luigi Girl drama out there. Yeah, no, I'm not even exaggerating, it's that fucking stupid.
So we're back again. Yeah, and unfortunately we've been talking about this clown trying to be Timmy Tough Knuckles here.
Yeah, this Chase boy is such a clown, man. He's such a wannabe Timmy Tough Knuckles. What a fucking loser, man.
We're talking about Chase the Sick Boy. And boy, does this kid give me the ick. Here's some contents. Back in 2024, or 5, Chase exposed Luigi Bro 12 and Mr. Jawbone.
Chase did not start the drama. Luigi herself did, and then Moon Moo made a video on it. If you're going to talk about drama, then at least get the information right.
And I use that term very loosely because this kid is absolutely numb in the head.
And that's coming from the guy who built a Minecraft base without any walls?
In 2024, Luigi Girl made a post detailing that she was apologizing for accidentally grooming someone. But in reality, she was overthinking and had assumed she was grooming this person.
Didn't Luigi say she didn't know what the word grooming meant? Assuming Zane got that information from Luigi herself, then that just proves that she was lying just to save face. Thanks for inadvertently helping your friend look worse, Zane.
I have single-handedly talked to Luigi Girl about this situation. And she has done nothing but be honest about what happened.
We just proved that she wasn't.
Jawbone originally got exposed for saying the F-slur.
He also got accused of telling kids to KYS, but not once is that mentioned in Zane's video. It's as if Zane based all of his information on the drama after Chase's most recent video and Luigi telling him that none of it was true. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that were the case.
But Chase added the fact that Jawbone is a pedophile. That is not true.
That's only not true if evidence isn't ever found, hence why I've dubbed it an allegation. However, according to Chase, he got that information from other people, and considering that other people have made such a claim, it's heavily irresponsible to just rule it out as misinformation.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. The word faggot has multiple meanings, depending on the contents in which you say it. The word faggot does mean gay men, but did you know it has a second meaning commonly used in the 12th to 15th century? Before faggot became a homophobic slur, it was used to describe a bundle of sticks or twigs bound together to be used as fuel.
Yeah, I'm just gonna replay the clip real quick.
Ha! You actual faggot!
Answer me this, viewers. Does Jawbone sound like he's talking about sticks, twigs, or even using them as fuel? No? He doesn't? Well, that's because he obviously isn't. Jawbone was obviously using that word in the context it has today. Even if he was using that word in its original context, how would that even work as an insult? And just to let you know, Zane, Jawbone has also called Chase a dyke.
Rush out
Shut up, you fucking dyke!
That word was always intended to be a homophobic slur. So how exactly are you going to defend that one, Zane? Especially with how you can tell Jawbone meant that as an insult.
The reason why I'm not censoring any of this is that I'm using the word in its original meaning, not the modern day meaning. I told Jawbone this fact, and he did not know that faggot was one of those words that had a double meaning.
So according to you, yes, you, Jawbone didn't know about the original meaning of that word. That only proves that he said the word with homophobic intent. Zane, you're not helping your friends at all. You're just making them look even worse.
And I was permitted to say this word by a friend of mine who is transgender.
Trans people have a completely different slur. Zane's friend cannot give him permission to say the F slur. He's probably just saying it just to say it, and I have my reasons for believing that I'll get into later.
There were also rumors that Chase created a compromising pornographic video at the age of 14, which casts doubt on his credibility regarding these allegations.
Okay, so let me give you some context. You see, when Chase was 14, he uploaded a video of characters who are canonically minors having sex. But it's important to acknowledge that Chase was also a minor at the time, and is 20 years old now. He has apologized multiple times in the present day for what he had done 6 years ago, as he was just a teenager and didn't know any better. Unlike Luigi Girl, who was 21 at the time when she groomed Logan. Also, I find it kind of fucked up that Zane is even trying to cancel Chase over that. 14-year-olds should not be making those types of videos. People at the time when he uploaded the video should have been concerned for him, not treating him like he was some monstrous pedophile. And I can hear you saying, but Nut Dealer, what if the people in that video were way younger than 14-year-old Chase? Wouldn't that make him a pedophile then? And you know, I was wondering the exact same thing. That's why I decided to reach out to him to ask him about that. When I asked him about it, he told me that they were characters from Tomodachi named Mamechi and Memechi. He stated that the characters were around the same age as him when he made the video, so I decided to do some research to make sure that was true. And after doing said research, I'm pretty sure he was talking about their appearances in the anime. And while they don't have specific ages, their ages range around 11 to 15, so they're all somewhere between that age range. And considering that in the games themselves, Mamechi and Memechi are considered adult stage Tomadachis, it's safe to say that Chase isn't some sort of teenage pedophile. So no, Zane, this does not cast down on Chase's claims, it only makes you look like you have zero critical thinking skills. And one more thing, even if Chase was a pedophile, that wouldn't disprove that Luigi Girl is also one. Because either way, she still groomed a minor, and Chase has nothing to do with that.
Chase, your videos mean nothing when there's irrefutable evidence but that both the Witch Girl and Jawbone are innocent in the present day.
What does he mean by in the present day? Is he trying to say that they were guilty in the past but they're innocent now? Yeah man, R. Kelly may have groomed a minor in the past, but he's not grooming minors right now. That means he's innocent.
They have learned from their mistakes and have done their best to repent and move on.
The most repenting they've done is say sorry and continue posting like nothing happened.
At their last meeting, after I struck the fact that you made a porn video when you were 14 years old.
I feel like both this video and his community post paint a pretty obvious picture about Zane. He's incompetent, he's petty, and he doesn't know when to quit, especially when he's in the wrong. And I think that last part comes into play when you consider that his video isn't even over yet. You see, the very first comment on my SFD video was Zane telling me to tell Chase to join a stream of some sort. The stream was titled Talking About the Wannabe Timmy Tough Knuckles Livestream Edition. The stream had been going for some time when I got there, and when I did, the only thing that Zane and his friends were doing was calling out Chase's name in hopes that he would hear them and join the stream like he was Bloody Mary or something. Like seriously though, at one point in the stream, Zane was questioning to himself why Chase wasn't joining the stream. Like he just couldn't comprehend why Chase wouldn't want to debate him. However, considering that when Chase confronted Luigi Girl and Jawbone during a stream, and got constantly interrupted and insulted by them, and especially considering who Zane is as a person, it's pretty obvious that Zane and his friends were going to do the exact same thing. I asked Chase if he actually joined the stream or not, but he refused to tell me since he was moving on from the drama. I actually left a comment telling them how useless their efforts were, and you'll never guess how Zane reacted to it. I can't remember what he said exactly, but what he said was something on the lines of, "Alright, listen up, Nut Dealer. Your little boyfriend Chase is wrong about Luigi Girl, so how about you stop being his gay little defender and join my stream and be a real man?" Yeah, that's right. For some reason, he started calling me gay as an insult. Of course, the guy who openly said the F slur while defending his friend for saying the F slur would call people gay as an insult. And I'm not sure if you know this, Zane, but a real man doesn't defend fucking child groomers. And I'm not sure why he thought I was gay with Chase. Like, the extent of our interactions was just me leaving a couple of comments on his videos. And at that point, I only knew that he and his channel existed for like half a month. And I tried to tell Zane and his friends that they were acting dumb, but one of his friends proceeded to say, "Says the guy who called an innocent man a pedophile." Which, all I have to say to that is, anyways, one of them started calling me fat as an insult for no reason, and it's pretty damn obvious that they were just self-projecting.
Because you mentioned donuts, and I love donuts, so...
Anyways, I went to go take a shower, and when I came back, Zane had already deleted the entire stream. Probably because it made him and his friends look bad. That right there is the information that shocked me the most. Zane, if you were really the tough guy you pretend to be, you would have kept that stream up, insults and all. But you have proven to me and everybody else watching this video that you are nothing more than a shit-talking loser.
I'm gonna have to agree on Nut Dealer 420 on this one. Not only is Zane still defending Luigi Girl and Jawbone, especially after all that happened, but the fact that he also decided to get into a fight with Chase for essentially getting mentioned in a goddamn video, and presumably Zane not watching the whole video to get the full scope of Luigi Girl 12 and Jawbone's actions, essentially making a video doubling down on defending Luigi Girl and Jawbone, all the meanwhile insulting both Chase and the nut dealer later on by calling the nut dealer his gay little defender, just makes me feel pissed off. Because not only is Zane willingly and knowingly protecting and defending pedophiles, but he's also a shit-talking douchebag who never even bothers to look at the full fucking picture. On top of that, him calling people gay, the F slur, and so much more just makes him look like an edgelord tryhard wannabe. But either way, Zane probably will never look at the full picture and still choose to defend Luigi Girl and Jawbones because it's much more easier for him to be caught up in his world of lies than actually see the truth. But then again, it is expected from these very few glazers who still defend the ever-loving holy hell out of Mr. Jawbone, Luigi Girl 12, Super Feather Dude, and Brown Robin Bird.
Change your mindset. I can't do it. It's too difficult. It's all my fault. When will I be happy? I hate myself.
In conclusion, Super Feather Dude and Brown Robin Bird are both a bunch of fucking degenerates who disgust me because not only do they have a bunch of borderline fetish art out of minors on their favorites, but they both defend problematic people. Super Feather Dude defending Luigi Girl and Jawbone, and Brown Robin Bird defending Super Feather Dude and Luigi Girl and Jawbone. Although I am going to give you guys my little 2 cents. Accidents don't happen when it comes to grooming. And I think that fetish art out of minors is technically CP because it's presented in a very suggestive and borderline NSFW manner to the point where it feels almost like borderline CP. I just feel exhausted and tired from making this whole video, which took me about almost a week due to the fact that I really needed to get more information about certain topics within this video. So if you enjoyed it, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, reblog, whatever the heck you do. Just stay safe out there, okay? And don't forget to wear your seatbelt.
また会おう。待ってろよ、秋の化けろ。